G'day folks, it's Peter Reaburn here. I'm an Associate Professor in Exercise and Sports Science at Central Queensland University. I've had the pleasure of being here for 17 years, which might make me sound a bit old and grumpy, but I've always been very committed to students, undergraduates and postgraduates. I've had the pleasure of winning a national award for my teaching in my discipline of exercise physiology within the degree of Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science. I've been asked to speak to you about professionalism, professionalism in everything you do. I cannot emphasise how important that is, that you are heading out when you go and do your placements, or whether you do some voluntary work, and ultimately when you go out into the workplace, you will be seen as an ambassador of Central Queensland University and the staff, that is people like me, that you are representing. We pride ourselves, the university and the individual staff associated with your programs and your courses, on having you act professionally when you head out for your placements or longer term work. So what does professionalism mean to me if I was talking to you about acting professionally in a workplace? For me, in a nutshell, it means looking, acting and sounding professional. So if I just take looking professional, it's ensuring that you dress professionally. You might notice that I've got a Medical and Applied Sciences polo shirt on. Before I came in to do this recording, I was wearing a t-shirt, which is me by nature. I'm fairly laid back sort of a character. But in terms of looking professional, I put on a professional polo shirt to look the part. And when you're going out for a placement and or work, you will know what the dress standard or expected standard is by having had some involvement with the profession, or, as we'll talk a bit briefly later, about having visited the workplace. So I never try to overdress. So I would never be, in my field of exercise and sports science, be wearing a suit and tie. It's just not what we do in exercise and sports science. So polo shirts are highly appropriate. And I have a logo on, as you may see, and I'm representing the School of Medical and Applied Sciences. So I'm dressed professionally. I've had a shave this morning. Believe it or not, I have done my hair. So I try to look professional. Then I try to act professionally. And what I mean by that is, if I'm going out for a placement, or I'm going out for an interview, or I'm going out for my first day of work, I ensure that I'm punctual. Anyone who knows me, I'm always punctual. I get very frustrated at people that turn up at 10 past the hour for an appointment that was on the hour. Some people might say it's anal, but I see it as professional. So being on time, being punctual, making sure that when you're acting professionally, if you say you are going to do something, you do something, and you do it to your very best of ability. That way you're seen as reliable. So you're punctual, you're reliable, you're looking the part. I think critically too, when we're talking about acting professional, when you're within the placement or you're within the workplace, you need to be competent. So you are developing skills through your undergraduate degree. If you're heading out on placement, you will have some skills for the workplace you're going into. Once you graduate, you should have a lot of skills and you'll be prepared for that workplace, otherwise you wouldn't have been employed. So you need to make sure you have the skill set that's required for your placement and or work. You also need the knowledge, and you need to be able to demonstrate your knowledge through interacting with people and using that knowledge and the jargon and the language of the professional. I think it's also really important when we're talking about acting professionally that we are honest, we demonstrate integrity, we are always positive. You need to demonstrate your willingness to learn. And for me, that means listening, particularly when you're on placement. Ask for feedback, listen to that feedback, interact with your supervisor when you're on placement and ask them for feedback. Same when you head out into the workplace. Ask your line supervisor or your mentor, how am I going? How can I improve what I'm doing? So looking and acting professional go hand in hand. Also sounding professional, I've talked a little bit about that, using the language, using the language that goes with the profession, using the jargon that might go with the workplace. Be aware of that and pick up on that quickly. But I suppose overall, professionalism means for me looking, acting and sounding the part of the role that you ultimately want to step into if you are doing a student placement. And having done a placement, which just about every degree program in the university does now, you will know what's expected of the workplace in terms of looking, acting and sounding professional. The last thing I would say to you is every discipline, so in my field, exercise and sports science, in medical and applied medical sciences or nutrition or engineering, law, whatever program you are doing at the university, there is a peak industry body. And that peak industry body, whether it be the Law Society or in my field, Exercise and Sports Science Australia, they have a code of professional conduct. And I really encourage you to go to your peak industry body and just do a search within that site for the code of ethics or code of professional conduct and look and learn what's professional conduct within your industry. I wish you well, folks. You will find people in your workplace and find people when you do your placement that you look up to and think they are professional. Talk to them about how they've achieved success and learn from them as you move into becoming a professional within your industry. And good luck with your futures.